Hi there, welcome back to chemistry. My name is Jeremy Krug. In this video, we're focusing on heat transfer and how we can calculate the amount of heat that's transferred from one object to another. Now, in order to do this, the equation that we're going to be using in this video is Q equals MC delta T. Now, Q in this equation represents the amount of heat transferred. And in the SI framework of measurement, we measure that in joules. And of course, that's not the only unit that we could use. There are some textbooks that use calories, that works as well. But in the SI framework, we measure heat in joules. So for this video, we're going to be using joules for Q. Now, M represents the mass of the object, and that's measured in grams. So when we see grams, that represents M. That's the mass of the object. Now, C represents the specific heat capacity of the material. Now, this is one of those concepts that gets some students confused. Specific heat capacity literally represents how well an object resists temperature change. For example, you probably know that water has a very high resistance to temperature change. If you take a pot of water and stick it on the stove and turn the stove on, you can stick your finger into that water, say 30 seconds, a minute after that stove is turned on, and you're not going to get burned because water heats up very slowly. It also cools down very slowly. It has a high resistance to temperature change, so we say that water has a high specific heat capacity. On the other hand, the metal pot gets hot much more quickly, and it gets cold much more quickly as well. If you were to take that same pot of water and turn the stove on, 30 seconds after you turn the stove on, if you touch the bottom of that pot, you're probably going to get burned. And that's because the metal heats up a lot faster and it cools down a lot faster as well. Every material has its own specific heat capacity. So we have to either look that up or be given that value in the problem. Now, the units for specific heat capacity are joules per gram per degree Celsius. And since specific heat capacity is a constant that's unique to every material, well, constants just tend to have funny units. And so that's why we have joules per gram degree Celsius there. That's our unit for specific heat capacity. Delta T is the change in temperature measured in degrees Celsius. And so, for example, if a material goes from 20 degrees to 30 degrees, that would be a delta T of 10. If it goes from 15 degrees Celsius to 35 degrees Celsius, that's a delta T of 20. If the temperature goes from 50 degrees Celsius to 40 degrees Celsius, well, that's a delta T of negative 10 because the temperature went down. So be aware that delta T is change in temperature. Usually in our problems it'll be going up, but if it gets colder, that delta T certainly could be a negative value. We're going to do a few problems together to see how we can use Q equals MC delta T in our chemistry class here. So the first question says, iron metal has a specific heat capacity of 0.45 joules per gram degree Celsius. How many joules will it take to raise 20.0 grams of iron from 25 degrees Celsius to 45 degrees Celsius? So once again, we're going to use the equation Q equals MC delta T, and we're just going to plug and chug right into that equation. So Q represents the amount of joules, how much heat energy, and that's what the question's asking for. It says, how many joules? So that means Q is going to be our unknown. That's what we're solving for. M is the mass of the material. The problem says that the mass of the iron is 20.0 grams. So I'm going to plug in 20.0 grams in for the mass, for our M. Now C represents the specific heat capacity of the material, and it tells us up here that that is 0.45 joules per gram degree Celsius. So I'll plug in that value for our value for C. And then delta T is going to be calculated from this information right here. If the temperature goes from 25 degrees Celsius up to 45 degrees Celsius, well, that's a delta T of positive 20, isn't it? So our delta T is 20 degrees Celsius. Now, all we have to do is multiply these values together to find our value for Q. So on your calculator, if you take 20.0 times 0.45 times 20, we find that the answer is about 180 joules. And so we're talking about a transfer of 180 joules in this problem. And that's all you have to do, just plug and chug using Q equals MC delta T. Now, let's try another example. Here we have an unknown block of material that has a mass of 24.0 grams. If we add 1,000 joules of heat to this block, and its temperature rises from 15 degrees Celsius to 29 degrees Celsius, what is its specific heat? So once again, we're going to use Q equals MC delta T. We're going to plug and chug using that equation. Q is the number of joules, the heat energy in joules. So the problem says we're adding 1,000 joules of heat. So I'm going to plug in 1,000 joules for Q right here. Now M represents the mass of the material. The mass is 24.0 grams, so I'll plug in that for M. Now C is the specific heat, or the specific heat capacity, same thing, and the problem does not tell us what that is. In fact, we're being asked to calculate that. What is its specific heat? So C is our unknown, and delta T is the change in temperature. So since the problem tells us that the temperature goes from 15 degrees Celsius up to 29 degrees Celsius, that's a change of positive 14 degrees. So I'm going to put 14 degrees Celsius in here for delta T. Now, all I have to do is use algebra to solve for C. I can start by multiplying the 24 grams times 14 degrees Celsius, like this. I get 336. And then to solve for C, the specific heat, I just take 1,000 and divide that by 336. And when I do that, I find that the specific heat capacity of this material, of this block, is about 2.98 joules per gram degree Celsius. So that is how we calculate the specific heat. Same idea here. We just plug and chug into Q equals MC delta T. Now, let's try one more example. This time it says a substance has a specific heat of 0.20 joules per gram degree Celsius and a mass of 100 grams. If we add 1,000 joules of heat to this material at 10 degrees Celsius, what will be its final temperature? So once again, we're going to use Q equals MC delta T, and we're just going to plug and chug. Now Q is the number of joules. That's the heat. So it says we're adding 1,000 joules. So Q is 1,000 joules. Now M is the mass of the material, and the problem tells us that the mass is 100 grams. So I plug in 100 grams for M. Now C is our specific heat capacity, and the problem tells us that the specific heat is 0.20 joules per gram degree Celsius. So I plug in that value for M, and it does not tell us what delta T is. We're trying to calculate the temperature. So we're going to solve for delta T. So on my calculator, I can just solve for delta T using algebra. I can start by multiplying 100 times 0.20, and I get 20 there. If I take 1,000 and divide by 20, I find that my delta T is 50 degrees Celsius. Now, is that the answer to the question? It's not, is it? The question says, what will be its final temperature? We know what the change in temperature is. We have to find the final temperature. Well, how do we do that? Well, it says that the starting temperature was 10 degrees Celsius. So if the starting temperature was 10 degrees Celsius and the temperature rises by 50 degrees Celsius, what's the final temperature going to be? Well, 10 plus 50, isn't it? So the final temperature is going to be 60 degrees Celsius. And that's how you solve for the final temperature. So here we have some fairly straightforward problems involving heat transfer and the equation Q equals MC delta T. Now there are certainly some more advanced or more difficult examples that we could do with this. We'll tackle those in a future video, but for right now you can see how Q equals MC delta T works for some of these essential problems here. Hey, I hope you learned something from this video. If you did, please slam that like button. I would really appreciate it. And consider subscribing to my channel. That way you don't miss a thing. This is the place for all things honors chemistry and AP chemistry. My name is Jeremy Krug. Thanks for watching. I hope to see you in the next video where we can learn some more chemistry together.